what JS is.
But even
it's junior
then,
secondary.
in our times, we don't be doing that.
I don't understand. You dated in junior secondary. No, tell me. Guys, please pause for a moment. I need to understand.
Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Hope you're doing well. We are the Wholesomes. For those of you watching us for the first time, thanks for stopping by. And if you're OG, as we always say, you know we love you. Thanks for always sticking around. And yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
We know. Face, eyes covered. But we are here today.
Yeah.
As always, today we have an interesting topic. As you know, Frank and I, we bring these topics because they are things that we probably talk about from time to time in the house, and then we are arguing back and forth.
I'm glad you used the word argue, because sometimes it's not just talking. We are like, I don't agree. You know? So sometimes we say we'll bring it out here and also hear what's going on out there.
Yeah, and of course hear from you as well.
Yes.
So today we'll be talking about how old is too young to get married or to be married. I know oftentimes those people talk about how old you should be, like, you know, the age to get married. But what I'm interested in knowing, how old is too young to be married?
And is it for the boy or for the girl?
For both.
Okay.
For both. We're speaking for both. And I don't know if you guys can you guess who is pro getting married at 18 and who is pro getting married much older than that? Let us know in the comments at this point.
Well, yeah, because by the end of the conversation, they might also kind of understand who is living where.
They would know.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get right into it. So babe, how old do you think is too young to be married?
I don't know why you're putting me on the spot, but I think it's different for a boy versus a girl.
Okay.
Yeah. So generally, it's said that girls mature a lot faster. I think personally with our kids, I found that to be true as well. Because the kind of things that Zizi did in grade 3, for instance, and the kind of way we saw her and treated her is a bit different from Kobe.
But do you think that's just because she's the first child?
Maybe because she's the first child. But I mean, in grade 3, I saw Zizi as not an adult, but she was. I saw her as mature. But Kobe, I almost can still back him, kind of, even at grade 3.
Because you want to, we are holding on. Kobe, please don't grow. Like, please stay, baby.
I don't know if that's it, or she was just out there and independent a lot more. I mean, it's different for guys and girls, but I think for me the underlying thing is, it almost feels like one of those things that when you get there and you're ready for it, you will know it. When you're mature enough for it, you will know it. Yeah, it was almost similar to, you remember back then, I don't think schools do it now. Back then, there used to be that thing called double promotion. Where you would double promote a child from primary 4 to primary 6, or from primary 2 to primary 4. And then at the end of the day,
I don't recommend, guys.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, the child is probably 8 or 9, and they are set for JS1. And parents will be like, no, this child is too young to go to boarding house. They will have issues. Some went and they were fine.
Yeah.
Some went and they had trouble. But I think it's not about the age necessarily. It's about the level of maturity the child possesses, or has built over time to get into marriage. Are they ready for marriage?
But is level of maturity, that's what you need in a marriage? I mean, it's part of it, but is that like the bedrock of a good marriage?
I think so. I think it's very important. Because you don't want to go into a marriage and you're acting like a kid when you're about to raise a kid yourself. You have to have a level of stability and maturity to handle certain things. Because now you're dealing with an opposite partner full time. That one in itself is work. You're also on the side raising money and making money and dealing with bosses and all of that at work. Now, when you have children, that is an extra layer. Don't forget you still have parents. Our kids will still have us to deal with. If we thought our parents were something to deal with, our kids will have us to deal with. So there are different things to handle. You need maturity to juggle.
You have other roles as well.
Of course.
Oh my goodness.
Of course, you still have other things to juggle.
So don't, circumvent, sidetrack, sideline the question. How old do you think is too young to be married?
Oh boy. So here's the thing.
Let me just help you guys.
No.
A 19-year-old can get married.
That's not true. That's not true.
Left to me,
yes.
I'm like, nope. I don't think anybody should be married even younger than 26. Yes, or 27 even in some cases. Yeah.
So Okay, let's put it this way. I have a friend who is he a year older or pretty much a year older than I am. His first child is turning 17, meaning he probably got married at 22, 23. 22, 23. The guy is not doing badly. He has a beautiful family. The children are well. Compared to my kids, those people are like uncles and aunties. And me and the guy, no, I don't wish. I'm just like, no.
Let me let you finish before I tell them one of the main reasons why you want you continue.
No, I don't wish. I'm just saying. Now, I know there are probably other stories out there of people that got married that early and it went wrong. I'm just saying that a guy could get married at 22 and still raise a beautiful family.
Of course,
now, if you see,
doubt.
in fact, when I first saw the guy and his family, because we were gym friends, when I first saw him and his son, I thought they were friends. I didn't even realize that this was father and son. Until we became friends and I got to understand, oh, this is actually his son, And I think that's such a beautiful thing and a beautiful place to be. Now, is it the perfect example? I don't know. Which is why I said putting an age to it is not exactly the thing. Funke exaggerated. 19 is too young. No, I don't. So please, let me put the record out there. Let me set this straight.
Actually, not 18,
no. 19 is too young. 19 is too young. I had a cousin, a female cousin that got married at 20. I don't know how our marriage went. Again, she's a bit of a distant cousin. But I remember back then she was turning 20 and she was getting married. I think a lady generally, as you begin to hit 21, 22, again, if you're mature enough and you can handle it, and the person you are looking to handle it with is a bit serious, I mean, there's no reason why you should hold yourself back and say, hey, both of us are earning well, both of us are mature enough, both of us are compatible, both of us are children of God, but you know what? Just for the sake of time passing, let's wait from 22 to 25, 3 years. Just because we want time to pass.
It's not just about time passing. A lot of growth can happen in those 3 years. And, I don't know whether this is a scientific study that is backed by any credentials, but I know that it's often said that the brain is not fully developed until 25.
I think it's even 27.
And so,
but must I wait till then?
Yes. Because you don't even know yourself. You don't know yourself fully. Marriage is a lot of work. Marriage is of work. I mean, it's amazing when you're with the right person and when you're doing life with the right person.
Exactly.
I mean, it's great.
Yes.
But it comes with a lot of challenges. There should be that time, that period where you're still learning yourself, you're still growing.
I agree.
You are still making decisions that is not tied to a wife or a husband or children.
Yes.
You're still living life.
Yes.
You're exploring.
Yes.
You are making investments on your own.
Yes.
You are spending money on your own. That is a period that should not be robbed off of anyone.
100%. 100%. I agree with you. And even I say it sometimes that I wish I was a bachelor for a little longer. I mean, we dated for a while, but in terms of me living by myself, it didn't happen for too long. It happened May to October, between when I left my father's house and when I got married.
To leave your father's house early?
Because I didn't want to put myself in certain situations, So I didn't do that, But do I regret that independence or privacy? No, I don't. Because quite honestly, being married to Funke, I'm not saying because she's here, but being married to her has not necessarily robbed me of my independence. Whatever I wanted to do, I could easily have still done. Of course, as a married man, you know your boundaries and all of that, but I could have fun, I could hang out with friends, and I could do all that within responsible limits. Now, I also feel any child growing up should also understand that marriage is not a bondage. Marriage is a contract of love. It's not a bondage. You are still you even in your marriage. But you now learn to be a bit more selfless and less selfish. But at the same time, Funke talked about your brain maturing at 25 or 27. I agree. But have you not heard the expression you fool at 40? Some people are 40 and they're still not ready for marriage. I mean, what do you do about those ones? It's not about age.
And I guess back to one of the points that you made about, our marriage being like, you're still able to do things and you're still able, and I think that's one of my greatest fears, right? Even and I'm not saying our marriage is 100%, but there's a lot of things that I enjoy, I can speak for myself, right? That I know that most other people don't. And I think that's just one of my fears, that I don't know who my kids would end up with. My prayer constantly is that they end up with partners that are even better than we
100%.
are. And that we are showing them examples that, is the bar that they can even set higher.
Yes.
But if, for instance, they end up with, let me speak for Zizi, a man that does not help around the house, that does not, that believes in the whole patriarchy, this is the woman's role, this is the guy's role, and from 22, she's already carrying that, heavy load. And even for Kobe as well, if he marries somebody that believes that, the guy should be the only one making money for the house, I am just here to, carrying that burden, and I use burden lightly, from that young age.
Yeah. I get your point.
I'm worried.
I get your point, but I also do not think it's something that can be solved by age.
Yeah.
Because usually what then happens is that you date the same person. The person is not changing. The person is just growing older.
That's the thing. So maybe the question we should be asking is, how old is too young to date to be married? That one, quite honestly, we cannot speak on. For two different reasons. One is our generation is different. Yeah. Secondly, where we grew up is different from these guys. These guys are talking about dating in JS class. Hell. Sorry, those that don't know what JS is. But even then, in our time, so don't be doing that.
I don't understand. You dated in junior secondary? No, tell me. Guys, please pause for a moment. I need to understand. Please, did you date in JS class?
I did not. It did not mean that people...
Because I've been hearing that for the first time now.
It did not mean that people did not have relationships
in junior secondary.
School. I went to an only girls' school, so we were busy with school mothers. And that was the relationship that we had. But in mixed schools, they had things.
Not that I'm aware of, Sha. I know there were funny conversations, but nothing was like a relationship. But these guys are like official dating in grade 7. I'm like, what have you learned? What do you know that you're doing dating? Dating who? For what? Why? As in, it's ridiculous. So, again, we can't speak on that because these guys, whether or not we like it, most likely they will start dating.
But we will still have an age that...
We will. Yeah. We will advise. But again, we will manage our expectations because, it's about it's about praying for them and how much we invest in them. But officially, for me, again, there's no pressure, there's no age limit to it, or there's no time you should put to it. But I just feel like you would know when a child is ready. Yeah. When Kobe wants to get married, he will sit down in front of me, we'll have conversations. He will tell me why he wants to get married, what he knows about being a father, what he knows about being a husband, what he knows about carrying the burdens of other people, what he knows about the diligence of fatherhood. It's not just about the work you do, it's about the prayers you pray. Yeah. It's about the things you do behind the scenes as well. Yeah. Not necessarily what you do up front. What do you know about those things? We'll sit down and talk about it. If I feel he's not ready, I'll tell him, my son, you know what, give it time. You will grow into it. There's some things you probably don't understand. Everything is not bread and tea. It might look good in front, but at the back, there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes that you need to be aware of, And
I think to play devil's advocate, I think that maybe particularly among Christians, one reason why people, and like you kind of alluded to that a little bit, people that cut it. That one reason why you don't want to date for extended periods, or you want to marry quickly, particularly if you found somebody, is because you want to remain sexually pure, right? Yeah. So maybe
is that a valid reason?
Well, it's tough. Which goes back to, I don't think anybody should be dating even before 18. I mean, you can have friendships.
That one I agree with you.
You can have friendships.
That one I agree.
Like, don't even put yourself in that situation where you want to start making those decisions early.
That one I agree. I agree. I don't think you should date too early. I think there's time for everything. Yeah. Again, Funke will disagree with me on this, but if I take our model, we didn't start dating until after university. For me, it's like
but that was because there were reasons.
Well, there were reasons, but even personally, I felt like I couldn't combine love relationship with my, I wasn't drowning, but I wasn't swimming freely. So now combine love on top of that, no, I could not do that, So I needed to separate that. And I just kind of feel it's about focus. I remember my second high school principal used to say, whatever you do, give it 100%. And I absolutely loved it. If you're in school, be in school, focus. Yeah. When you finish school and you start working, you have the time to go and pick up girlfriend, check on girlfriend. You have the money to even take her out and all of that. There are things. Now you're learning that sense of responsibility versus when you were a lot younger. So I think on that one, I agree. Do not date too early. But I also don't think you should move out marriage too late. Yeah.
I know.
It's 26, 27.
It's just right.
For a guy, so I got married at 28. I just turned 28. I was 8 days into 28 when I got married. Or 10 days into 20 years, actually. Yeah, but I say that because I'm pained. I would have loved 27, but it was 28, which is fine. But at the same time, I feel like I wish I could have done it earlier. Could I have been married at 25? Would I have still built a good home? I think so. I think I would have still had a beautiful home at 24.
And you will have been responsible for this girl since 25.
Yes.
As I come with a lot of drama.
I know. We would have grown with the drama together. Would have grown together. Of course, certain things would have been missing. Maybe would have started from a smaller apartment, moved again, and all of that. But would have had fun. The marriage has still been good.
Yeah,
and all
that's
of that.
Because two of us, we
our children will get better. That's our prayer.
Amen.
It will even be better than us. We'll be looking at them and we'll be jealous of them.
Amen. Yeah. Amen. But I just don't, because left to Frank, like the way he throws things around and going back to the number one reason why he wants to get, as he wants his children to get married early, because he wants to be a grandpa early. He will be talking about, I don't even mind. Maybe get married early and then decide that. But that's the thing. Society would start as soon as you get married. The next question will be, when are you having kids? But left to Frank, he wants to be a grandpa at 46.
So one thing is for sure.
He wants to be a cool grandpa.
Exactly. One thing is for sure. I'm going to be a young, cool grandpa. That one I know.
But don't use that one to put pressure on my children.
No, that one I know. I know that one. But still. And even to having children, actually, you and I agreed that we we're going to have children for a year, right? After I think, was it a year or two? I think it was
at least.
I think it was 2 years we agreed on. This was another story. We agreed on 2 years.
Did you even just
we'll come back to that. No, we did a year. We eventually did a year. Yeah. Eventually did a year, but we wanted to just enjoy each other for 2 years before we started having children. But situations change. Anyway, but to go back to the question, I think when you're ready, you would know. Yeah. I personally think for a girl, if you're mature enough, 22 is a good time to start thinking. That's my thought. That's my thought. And even a guy, I've seen mature guys at 22. I've seen guys that are doing well, running their own businesses.
There's no marriage was about just finance, Kobe.
No, Kobe's one is different. Kobe's one is different.
He's very financially mature. Like
I've started praying for the boy because I think his own financial maturity is going overboard. It's going overboard. Something happened just last night. Yeah. We were about to pray, and I was saying to the kids how, next week I'm traveling, I'm going on a trip and all of that. And Kobe said, where are you going to? I said, I'm going to the US. He said, is that what you spend our money on?
No, that's not how he said it. Oh my God, it's like,
yeah, he said,
I'm trying to remember how he said it. It was like, this is where all our money is
going
to.
This is all our money is going to, yeah.
Like, you're always traveling. Why are you always traveling? Like, I don't say that, Kobe, this is a work. Frank was trying to explain because the kids was a shock, like, as in from where to where? Are you the one making the money in my pocket? We're not expecting him that it's a work trip, and for a work trip,
the company pays for it, yeah.
Like, now I feel a lot better. Yeah. Now I can breathe. Like, I'm like, what's this boy saying? 7 years old. It's like, because we need to be mindful of how we are spending our money. And I'm like,
we'll deal with that one at a later time. let us know. We'll do that at a later time. Anyway, I just feel overall it's about your level of maturity, and when you're ready for it, you would know.
Yeah.
Because and this is the point. Probably one of the last points I'll make is a lot of these kids of new age working. If you think about any kid in your office that's like 20, 21 and has a boyfriend, they're living full time with their boyfriend already. What's that? What's marriage? No, but really, what's marriage?
That's not okay as well.
It's not. So you might as well be married then. That's my point. Google make it formal. Because they've moved in, they've left their father's house, and their father and mother they're in India.
Your people will be my people.
So you might as well be married. When either of the families are having function, they are there. They go to cottage together, they sleep over. So yes, you could seeing them as husband and wife. So why not just be married? If you are mature enough to be a full-time living girlfriend or boyfriend, my dear, be married now, Abby.
But anyway, let us know, guys. Let us know. What do you think? This conversation, I think it has plenty sides and plenty folds. But let us know what you guys think. As you can tell, we will keep debating.
I kind of feel like Funke is moving closer to me.
Moving closer.
I feel like she's moving closer. She's seeing reason with me now.
Of course, I see reasons, no doubt. I mean, it's also beautiful, like you said, when a family, when you start young and you grow together. But I just want to also make sure that the child is fully aware
Yes.
of what is the implications.
Yes. And that's
of that
us starting that
decision.
conversation early with them.
Yeah. But I still feel like if any child would come to me before 25 that they want to get married, my answer would be no.
On what basis?
Yes.
Just because of the age?
Yes, just because of the age.
So okay, let's paint a picture. Zizi is 22, 23. She's running a beautiful fashion empire. Not empire, that's an extra stretch. But okay, empire. And then she's running and doing very well. Mature, living on her own. She's probably living on her own in Paris or in London or something. I says, Mommy, I found a guy. We've been dating for like 3 years.
How?
And I'm 23.
Oh, okay, for me too.
From 20 to 23, and I'm 23, I think we won't take to the next level. What do you think? You're not saying no, baby, must be 25. No, you said check it now. My people, I think that she's coming to my side.
Thanks for watching, guys, and let us know what you think. As always, don't forget to like, share this video. Share this video to other parents that are just thinking like either of us right now, with your spouses to know the pros and cons that you're thinking. But most importantly, let us know what you're thinking in the comment section so that maybe I would have a change of mind, because just by these few points, I'm not convinced. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And on to the next one. Bye for now.
Bye.